Part 6.
Answer na metwa so no ma menka asem we. Mesramu obi ambo me pa, obi anhye me kutupa. Obi antua me ka se me membe chichirim. Me ya na metewa na me se we eya adusua. Nti ye nyina ye nsuasua ne mfantu ye hofo. Se de be ya enkofa asem foforo madaachi. Nti mesramu obi antua me ka obi ambo me pa wate. Me ya na eja konkonsa ye me de na me se mu ndi kakra. Na we de konkonsa we ye mfansua de nti me pamacho. Uti na sopem ene konkonsem so ate ase ene wasua ade eso afrim medase enti yedru types of marriage baby a ye ne ra Dorinda Arthur etsi ye no na osi wo be church types into types of marriage in Ghana wo sheda eto nebo church types of marriage no eno nko ahu pages na edo so pa enti ye ho ne ye de hya ase osi e wo Ghana mmramu no anase e wo Ghana ha no
Abusuya aha future media GH bomodin say obe subscribe channel no na wa like na wa share na bibi etima eboko video na wo hwe no abusuya obetima kire wadwene e comment section no share your thought with me on the comment section na me hu wadwene kire Mr. you atemdie film na de etie bia no onso e ka wadwene it is what it is Mr. on subscribe ya subscribe mami na bibia entimi enye boko said ye be ya ebetimdi adwuma pa e de abro abusuya ye to aso na hwe video no aha future media GH. That's it.
Our rear miensa main and I say three main types of our rear wo kroma. Ni edi kan customary marriage ye nyina efre ne fia ware no. Ni eto so court our rear and I say ordinance. E na de etwa so Islamic marriage. Na o ka say our rear dodo yi nyina na our rear miensa yi nyina e bia wo kwan a efa so a ye bu no wombrɛ mu say ye valid and I say edimu what's ya say enti no se wo fa ordinance marriage aye woni ma e kire say edimu se wo fa efia ware so aye woni ma e kire say edimu nti sa ware miensen omu nyina woni ma e kire de ye fe no validity and legality e wo krom ha say no na o start free efia ware so say efia ware no it is celebrated under customs na say no e ye fie ye na mamre ene ye na mane kwan so e na eno no ebusuakuo bia na say me fa ne say ebusuakuo bia na say tribe bia ewo kwan ya omofa so eye sa aware no enti enye pe wo ba bia e bia se de ye ware ewo da gomba fomu na e different se de si ware wasanti fomu se de ye ware ofafra fomu na be different for e bia se de ware wadagati fomu so what I say enti no pe o kire say e different na emomu no it is mostly based on consent na chese nipa mienu no e wo so omunya omo ho ntiase em na abusua mienu no so nya omo ho ntiase na omotimi aka sa oba ne be me ya bom se awarefo no wie no se ye fia ware wo Ghana no e wo se wutua tirinsa Emma ebusua panyin anase oba na busua na omusu agitum na omubọ machiri dom say aware no omugitum ye betimi register fi aware wonim sa ha menim se wonim entusua wa ha wo betimi register fi aware na emum ma menkam ento aso say wo register fi aware no ye ma wo certificate na emum ye tro wudin wo be kwakotro e wo register of courts registrar owo assembly no ni register mu e ho na be kwakotro ewo but no ye ma wo certificate nti fi aware ye register pa oka wa ha na osaso ka se sa ware no eye polygamous se wo ware obi ofie otimi ware obi ka ho efia ware no ye nyina ye nim se ya ye wo ho ade ofie otimi ye oba foforo ho ade e ka wo ho aha me se oba foforo man ka be ma foforo ho ade enti no be ma ware ofie no otimi ware oba foforo ye den e ka wo ho o say there is no limit na just otimi ware ma bebre e de ka wo ho na no state the case of Graham versus Graham me person the legality no e be bo mu bebre nti na ya me person but o ma case a o de support is na accession na asem no e ho no wie no be kan ordinance marriage aye court aware o say court aware na ye mra aware ye baako be ma baako ne oba de fe no monogamous o be ma baako oba baako aware na sa so ye civil union e wo say emra mu no wo register na che say untimi nya court aware abra wo register you so wo ka say wo aware wo court mu na wo register ya enimu sa aha nti no e wo say register na parties ni mienu na wo mu ware no e wo say wo mienu nyina wo bi atintim so ne ya wo mu wi a ne ya edimu na e be kire se ma ware no ya ma mo marriage certificate e che say ma ware na sa ware ne de strictly monogamous na che say no ye ware bi nka ho be ma ntimi ware bi oba ne bi enka oba na wadi ka de na court ne ho sa na mewra Dorinda e ka wa ha nti wo cheche ma ware na ahodro ni mu se de be ya wo beti ase na wo ka asem a ehun be bia be kan fa so we e no say e request say e require say wo be ye formal registration e wo district and our assembly don say kwa ye asori dem wedding and say court are say Bribe register e wo assembly Bribe register wo ha no eno ho asem na wo kan wo ha no o cheche we nyina mu na no so wie ye no na o ka say once a aware e ye converted that is if you aware o convert no ba ordinance ti wa ware ofie na okoye court de a automatically extinguish fie de no nti e chese e muntimi be kasa ma ye ne ho ade ofie nti ne metimi aware bi aka ho abra wakwa koye court aware ye nya ne saa pacho wase ase nti enkoye obi ho ade na enka se waye ne ho ade akoye wedding wasa kwakware bi fufuru yes sir oni mra benya problem that's it. Into say we are extinguish all your rights any privileges are war under customary marriage. Very simple. No my Koma versus Shang. A very interesting case. I win Adagya. She Google ni read the case need. No, we are not say the last one here Islamic marriage. Ayen krema warrior. Hence Islamic marriage need or say you officiated by an Islamic religious leader and also so a potentially polygamous. Not as an suit me worry ebika home. Now both the couples must be Muslims. Mremono I was a woman in Iron Cremophone on what me contracting Cremopho warrior. Now movie so I was at the registrar of Mohammedan marriages any divorce no. I was notify no I know see register until I was notify sa registrar no also so within a week or some warrior no said the bear or no so be recording na or no so at me atromudin when in crater mu say mummy no ma worry e won Cremo kwan so. Now movie so I was a warrior no e officiated by an imam a sheikh or a caddy. Sanko for me and say officiated our warrior no o Cremo warrior enim. And I also see a man is allowed to marry up to 4 wives, and it should not be between family relations and cousins. And Kamawari no asichren no swatcheren. Oh yeah, no say. I was a meka can say. Emra court no e one mandate. Say what me go our in a court our under the Matrimonial Causes Act 367 no. I was say when it pertains to customary marriage so. The court is enjoined to consider customary rules. Into person just say if you are warrior, it was a court no ehwe efie mra no na ohwe ni pakro no personal laws. Uni so obi a won personal law. Obi a won personal law. Uni so personal law. Obi a won personal law. Dakro e be chire mu. Obi a won personal law. Me ti he me won personal law. So wo personal law. Nti ye hwe wo amamre e kwan so afa so ware ni ahwe personal law. Ni aka brom na ye de agina so abua. Se wo de efie aware kokoto. Ye ka me ni bom ye de abua. Me da se.
Part 7.
For mama yen twaso. Ye wo page 22. Na page 22 e hono na ye ne ra Dorinda Arthur okasafa approving a valid marriage. And say wo kire say waware edim anase waware e wo mremu no edim. Na hono mo no start say the primary and direct proof of a valid ordinance marriage is the performance of the marriage. That say answer na wa betimi a say waware edim no na e wasa waware no kra abaso. Say de ehun say bia wa ya yefro. What na say no any the first one na wo wi a was a wunya documents a back case performance no nti anya se wa hihye nkonwa wa frɛ ya ba ma stress ma sensan bibi na ye hu krata bia na no kyese wa ware nti o say a combination of other documents corroborating the performance of the marriage is more convincing than a single document. So as I say akofa wedding invitation ba nti o krata ne e was say hu ya so wie no ba be ka say ye wo eniema bi a enye it may not be enough to prove marriage. Example or say ye wo emre bi a marriage certificate nko a entimi nkyere say aware di mu anase ndim eniema ne e bia marriage certificate nko a entimi nkyere say aware di mu no ene obibo obi ene non consummation say nipa mienu mu akoye court aware na emu mienu mu nhia wo namu da mu nhia wo namu da ye hia ma ware so ma mu wie mu nhia wo namu da eno ekyesa ma ware enim or say in fact or say nullify na kyesa aware no kure ni ho na nkapesa abedimu ana endim and nullify no completely no see mental incapacity of a spouse e bia na wo ware no na nipa kro na adwen no ho enhyeda anya okay kakra eno so na kyese nipa kro no need the menstrual betimi a consent say aware no wo pene so ana wo pene so ntia no so e ma aware no enye de enim e bi wo also see cases of fraud and na e bi so issues with certificate na nkasa o see e bi also aware no kora na efiri ahyase na kyese egu ahyase na enim void have been issue na tesa aware na hyase na aware no enya aware papa na say egumpo abraham hyase nti muko mukura na mu consummate kwa aware na enya papa eno no work ye no say ebi ho no ma na wedi kan aware obi foforo e wo mmerem na say akoware obi e foforo so a sa aware na wo ware second one no enim na fraud sa wo koye bia mi ti he na midin na e bia midin dia so mesi na akwa ka ni pakwa ni se midin dia obenti na me de no akwa ya aware no a eno no sa aware ni me san se midin kura anya no kore e be dan aware na ye den awo nti wo kan no wie no refer to section 46 of cap 127 the Marriages Act 1884 to 1985 no or refer to no say sa so na say wo convert wo fi aware wo convert wo fi aware ekọ ordinance mu a wontimi ware obi foforo nka wo kai se meka wo ba ko ni sa o sa ka wo ha no say aside say wo mu nhia wo namu da na niema we mo so betimi ama aware no enimu kura na say be ye null annulled na te say annulled na te say aware na ama so abaso de na emu menimu wo mrem nti no ye begu no ene say enipa menu no mo ware ni nyina ye mofra Ghana ha yakasa obi abroad just wedi below 18 nti no sa nkura ware enim ana say parties ne ba akwa ware deda ene wo sa be ware obi ordinance marriage we nyefia ware one share baako na akɔhwɛ me cheche mu ho spouse ne baako ye force na te sɛ nya ne pɛ na ɔde ba awade anim ɔmo hyɛ ne kente na ɔde ba awade anim ɛna evidence of deceit and fraud no so maka ho asɛm wo wie ye no ɛna ɔba sɛ ebia na ɔba ne so sɛ ɔba ne so nyema ba ma foforo a saa aware no endim ɛna instance anuanu mienu a mo ware no so what's the list na nya exhaustive betimi akeka ne ma bebree. Now, with any of the above conditions, or say when any of the above conditions prevail, the marriage certificate alone, like I says, I never way in a marriage certificate and inquire into me, ma worry and dim. So the fact that we marriage certificate, and as I never will be a woman, our into me dim, and found no certificate a day, a crown. We know one of no still, or no baby, I'll try not become a yabo shaman, or mom, a decided case, and Estina Boatin versus Serwaa, and two others, I call civil appeal. And 2021, I in chair, and two shall be home. Into a real no buy no say I feel there was a bass semina or say I now return to the first issue I will busa say my mammy Akosua Serwaa na worry no I or worry that lumba no say or worry no it was civil registry or Germany now worry no monogamous not as one a bako or baba kubema bakwa worry na say baba kubema bakwa warrior a worry no muguno and as one guno and son that lumba oh into real no honor be sha say no say I ha say plaintiff so kai plaintiff no one kaya kono kwe mammy Akosua Serwaa the plaintiff is required. Was a plaintiff no what chere okay say make a sufficient make ka brofo na make ka say sa brofo no twetwe ni na no mmeramu brofo nti enjoy mu sufficient say biane no so sufficient we say sufficient mmeramu sufficient properly authentic documents which are not contradictory and legally valid in Ghana as proof of a civil marriage to the late Dadulumba sa brofo ma chechire kono kwe so say this is very crucial say sa adewe and when here pa into what try was this is very crucial wow. But there was a winner judgment if you could be a 23. But this is very crucial. It's an say, I worry about pet and I worry, I won't mean worry being count, and only monogamous marriage, and I say ordinance marriage, and no warrior, won't mean worry being encounter. Oh, yes, I pet what to matter. Into a sister, a dear way. The Adicrontia or Casa crucial is the son say, Mamma Akosua was say, or neither the Lumba worry under ordinance and a civil marriage, ever Germany. It was a crucial, say, ye be whom Sankrata see me, it was saying a baby boy. So we are not say the law for attorney. Some of them the law for attorney, you match the law for attorney, the law for attorney, Yamamijana, you be Jenamudia dance, my mamma Akosua one. Ah, or no, or say, walk asano, and as in some trial with the buy-in, the paragraph 5, 6, and 12. No, oka say, na Yamama Akosua Serwaa, any that remember, or more 23rd day of December 2004, were Germany, na or saso de a hokrata. No, we no or say, Yama, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa can when a statement of claim, paragraph 2, and also Casa. So, see, the first point I no person ascertaining the determination of the applicable foreign law. It was same way in evidence a plaintiff needed by say, now what you know, Omuji, was Germany, and I say, Omo, a contractee under the German law. In Tiahono State, section 1 of the Evidence Act, okay, Evidence Act. You watch the Mugan Evidence Act 323. State who provides as follows said the determination the determination of the law of an organization of states to the extent that such law is not part of the law of Ghana. And that is a emra ini Ghana or of the law of a foreign country. A question of fact. Not to say someone a question of fact. It's a question of fact. But it shall be determined by courts. Someone a war name courts nebebua say it na say it sa. Into we no say the determination 3 no say 1 no 1 2 near kind into 1 3 of Act 323 no one that's which name. So say the determination whether a party has met the burden of providing evidence on a particular issue is a question of law to be determined by the court. Into say what to me I show where one krata sem amane dimuno mrasem mra asem mrasem enye me say yes mrasem nti no so na a question of law a court no na betimi determine and so betimi abua e wo mrem me that's
Part 8.
It was a okay say you can evidence act no nti it was free ho nti we no say e wo court e wo kuro bia so anase wo man bia so no ya assume say court bia nim ne man so mra dem make out say nti court bia onim ne mra so mra nti ne man ne Ghana onim Ghana man mra nti no obetimi apply ne local law anase ne man mra na the foreign law they operate as a question of fact and not as a law. So what I say nti wo mra na o de ba no e fact mame enye mra mame enti no o de ba me dey say dey mebu asem mebu na o me Ghana mrem so what I say I want to show my case enti we no say this is to state that a foreign law must be proven by the party usually through an expert witness no e won ya me pa I was here tia say yes answer nsem na waka bebre no ha sansem waka wa he e ya sem hia o say wo de mra a e free o man foforo so e ba e wo say wo a wo de sa mra no ba wo kire court nim na kwan be na be fa so kire court nim ye free be expert witness ni obi a onim asem na ye ka no onim mu anase wote ase no wo mu nyina ye o bi o mu certificate o mu krata e chese asem ya meka ho asem e fa ne se meka pencil yi wasem o se me hu pencil ye na me hu se pencil ye ni se so ate ase nti expert witness obi a onim ade na expert ye ka expert ase ate ase nti expert na witness e na ya ka bo mu aye na mera word expert witness nti no sa expert witness no e wo so no e be kasa e fa sa ade no ho. It must be proven through an expert witness, and a judge is not expected to automatically take judicial notice. You can judicial notice, and that is a judge in wonim. You can say be a judge in wonim. Say, John Mahama ye man penny e Ghana a judicial notice yina yeni munti judge needs to be to judge to musuni. Name means me can judge say a foreign law a judicial notice in tina. What's say no so wedding? Who misantino? What's with the expert witness? Eba, that's our witness no. Or be kasa fast seven home. Now we krata na we debano. Judge needs me tia see. I was some ranim. No to me a de ebu asem no. E wone kwan so nti obi ye no se ne senti na wo se mama Akosua Serwaa wo kire se wo no ne dade lumba omo ware no kuremu e wo mremu wo Germany ema nti na wo se wo fa expert witness so e kire ne saade no nti expert witness on my example say it could have been a qualified legal practitioner and I say academician obi o kire ade about German aware e wo so ehu e bia ebetimi aye obi a an expert witness can be anybody or kasa wa say obi ye no ka say or stated the case of Godka Group versus PS International and also a Ghana case 1999 to 2000. Also, the general principle has been that no person is a competent witness unless he is a practicing lawyer in the particular legal system in question, or unless he occupies a position or follows a calling in which he must necessarily acquire a practical working knowledge of the foreign law. And then I'm being church and say, what's any panel or senior or become once and say, and I say, yeah, dear, what dear Juma. And into now, I am running to know, or more cast a lawyer, and he said, lawyer need ye, I dear Juma, ye dear Emra. It is a lawyer needing the German Raya Juma, bet me a church German. It will be sano, okay. It is also required that the foreign law must be proved afresh. And you know, young fan say, I say, yet me church German and Meremu ya. And no interest say, oh, soon as someone as I actually won our vision so debut. Over say proving beam. It's say, it's Mrs. Ghana, Emeretram woman is Emeretram. Into the same Emeretram one my young. I just won't have a court number through your expert witness. Say, Merano, a trim. The Honor stated the case of Amasewa versus Gariba Hashmill. What guys are same way? No, monkey. Same way until 2021. A China hopper. No, a Honor Justice Kulendi, or can't say. A Honor Justice Kulendi, refer to Section 136 of the Evidence Act. Evidence Act, there was a say about the 323 on authentication. Where the relevancy of evidence depends upon its authenticity or identity, so that authentication or identification is required as a condition precedent to admission. Into Socrata now with Eban, a authentica or say authentication and as identity, a prerequisite and as precondition. Say a be authentic and yes, I need to one. And when you say, a requirement say, will be satisfy evidence by showing, say, it is supported. What I say, and I say, it is something, it's a matter of question. I was say, we are no more court and transfer court in the year no amount. When on Sana or more extra ever have. Into Justice Kulendi in the car in the case of Godka into my lady, I refer to, you know. No, we are no Saba no say, has say no, the purported extracts. We free marriage registry in mobile. A foreign document. A bear foreign signature. Now, the Evidence Act, this specifically I provide say a condition precedent for the admission. And I came out to see and said that it's going to can. It was Section 136 of Evidence Act anymore. Or see, it's a condition precedent. Not to say a idea I was away ya not to say what to watch the cry. So as I say, for admission into 1 year, dear 1 year. Into what's a prove this idea way. Section 136, Section 161. So Section say can you now come one and no children is a saint cry. What say who prove this akrata na would free or my for so banner. Now, so no can say Exhibit B no na e was say authenticated and a certificate of marriage na free registrar of the civil office for buy no so na e was say no so e bear some authentication after that no say the law mandates that a person takes the certificate e was say the certificate no e kwa German embassy Ghana embassy wa German Emma almost am another certification from the head of consulate wo hono before a court no ebetimi ayede ebua asem no that's na all kasa na so no o say odo Broni lawyer say munna munim D2 say de munim D2 ye odo Broni lawyer so omo pega akrata no so no wo ma asem so o say de be menti ase san say sa asem abapen na krata yi emre bi a wo mo koma injunction so mo ka injunction no mo file in October no mo kai injunction no mo ma so October no 28 October 2025 no sakrata akro ya o jaje na ka wa ha o say sakrata akro ya ene ye dia ba abra ye tie substantive case no injunction ni mo e baaye injunction ni mo krata ya mo de baaye ema e ba so say asem na mo ka no na krata na mo de aba no endimu enti se mo pese mo de ba ha de a wonim de wo beye ema me what I say o se me kire ne say safa kone koye ne ai wo se wo de ye ansa na wasa de aba enti ye me nwanwa o kan wasa enyo na me ka wo re ubetimi aka ya ka me pejan kire ubetimi aka ya na me pejan kire ye ade no o say wo de ma me kan kire but it is therefore a surprise that the plaintiff did not comply with the requirements nearly a month later na me ka sinti ye ne nwanwa say edi bo so me atwam na plaintiff no wanya nwere wasa de krata na ye den abre ne sa ne senti no o se wasa de abre ne sei ye de ento aso enti no omo pega asa krata ne so omo de ba be evidence e ho no na odo Broni e lawyer no D2 e lawyer so mo ne medical check D2 o pega asem ne se da bi menti ase e makrata we ye nya de ye nyi ntu me san se krata we ye won ticket ye signature na e wo so no enye ye man mu ha official e signature na e wo so obia so so ntwero krata mfiri ba bi mmambe ka say we etisei expect witness bia so so mbeka san fa sa krata yi hu ne senti me da so gina ne mi gina say krata we entimi anyi ntum wa ha ye ntimi anyi ntum e wa ha enti no me mpere ma court anyi ntum na hono na court no kwakwa so secretary ya ba pen ama hu asem aye den aba ma no kwanta ono kwanta ne wanwa secretary ya sa aba ne ha ya anya ho hwe ya sa de aba enti ne hono no ka say ti any objection a o mapeja ewo sakrata yi hu it shall be or say any ewo krata no it shall be admitted into what the objection it to or the odo Broni lawyer no objection it to say krata no and the exhibit B and B1 no ye purported marriage certificate no mo translate enti omo translate ye eba brofo kasem say the be judge ni betimi aka enti na nkofo kasem na judge ne tiase na judge ne tiase o translate and authenticate ye translation and authentication, they are two different things. In translation, said they make a tree in brofo me than no may translate it. Now say obe authenticated here is to give validity no validity is to give validity to krata. So what I say until sana na judge or person worker into what yeah no say into me I into also then also purported the original that was brought before by the court for the court to compare the plaintiff said the omode ba no se court no nya de nsusu ho enti no ni chese ne nsam keka ni nyina ne say han wo fa ne say certificate na ba na foreign document a be foreign signature nse hono na maka enti ne sa enti no ka wo so ono de court ne kan wa ha wo say enti nke wo so wo mo frɛ obi wo so mo frɛ obi ma ne be kasa fa ho to hu se wo keka asasem na se nke wo so mo frɛ obi e ma ne be kan ko wo so mo be frɛ e hono no ye be kasa bi wo ho about discretion. Can be about discretion. The next way, you can't say about discretion. We'll talk about it. Until even though the court is not bound, until you expert witness by no just all the expert witness by I say be expert witness no. Can be an court na dia to there. Be sanity name no expert witness no will be as persuasive as possible. However, the court na and expert witness asem na ntumwa. I was a court na try the currency one expert witness na nyede asem one thing. I have to say who expert witness bia anyede amba. Ntino wajitu ntori no osabeka say these required provisions were not adhered to by the plaintiff. Sani ama we was section 161 section 136 no nya ya keka nyina e ma me Akosua Serwaa omo endi so e wo mrem mesrew mrem omo endi so Into no see they were not ahead to. Now was also so cutting say the page 18 of the written address by Mami Akosua Serwaa lawyer no. The council did not only admit what you to say or my authenticated documents no. Lawyer Nankasa did to say or my authenticated documents after injunction in October. Lawyer Nankasa did to has say or my authenticated document. Name more than church muka who say na wedding na day man or so mobile. It's say na embrene near Makaka. It was practically I say that a practical hardship. That is was stress and your bay and a name more demand or say or more meet the demands no of section 161 no. And was in name muno or more trust every was in name was and yet in answer to interrogatories near questions be a woody kai answer and sana they say you started trial and they say baby jada kemuni webu asem ni busa no we yi asem na no na ha ti sa interrogatories na sa questions na court no omu yi ano no dobo ni sorry Akosua say wa mu yi ano answer no mo de ba no. The first question was answered to show say the documents na omu de ba na your authentic marriage certificate. See, the first answer no, was it was answered to show say it was an authentic marriage certificate. The Counselor of Ghana Mission with Germany. Tachi. Meanwhile, then just how you make so America or say which was not the case. No, so this interrogatory into one of clerk and ask no ba send them what were happy so. Hence, one of the interest. Into sim holding in I won't say me per se. But Sansa no Hannah Clark and Asamono, pay 27 year dream, Hannah Clark and Asamono in a higher day. So see, it must state that there is a distinction between the legal burden of proof and evidential burden of proof. I catch say Maranidi, and yes, any open no, send the Maranity, to see legal burden of proof, ni evidential burden of proof. Now, see, when it comes to the legal burden of proof, anyone who makes an assertion bore the burden into the legal burden of proof. I say, when I will say, okay, maka. So when I was here, when I was so chere, you almost said you 2 million a chere, and my bube, you know, it's no, Sana Hano, the person a chere, Sana Hani a chere. But as soon as I about, when it comes to the evidential burden of proof, it is like it's also a tactical because evidence, no, who bet me could have so, yet, the son say, when you may was away, my evidence, it didn't, now character, it didn't. Into us here, party is to produce evidence that is to support an assertion. There was a woman evidence about Boawasem, and I said, Bre, Nipana, one in a mansion, a bebre on Nasamide. I say, the Honolulu State, the controversial case of Akufo-Addo Bawumia and Obeche Vilante versus Mahama and Electoral Commission, special edition case. State here, no, Theory, no say. Let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted to certify. I think I was say, Omutuana mom say, Womu certify Kratana. To an amount, so will certify Kratan. To an amount, so will certify Kratan. Nempo letter now would be a comma embassy no. Ghana embassy with Germany no. First say no come. Say you 2 son among and numpo cabetri baby. Then Sudin and I day. Manisa. Yentoaso. No, my father, Yentoaso. I see. Authentication as a my kind. Also authentication no Amaswa. Any certification no Amaswa. Okay. Then was a lawyer no for Akosua Serwaa. That was what the original certificate. No back courts, because I can't say I see the court was informed. So the court was informed that there was an original certificate. However, what was brought to the court was an extract from a family book. Into no original certificate na court need that to sell money baba. Name extract and I say copy via equally free family book. German for a family book mono. And one hour more buy. Name and also no a lawyer for Akosua Serwaa edge to open court say extract name and your original certificate. The document therefore could not be the original and its copy being exhibit B. See exhibits no more be buy no. But say ne say into say extract no na ono want me consider ne say your original copy and no dey nyina ye ne ya adwe say extract is extract, original copy is original copy. Into we no say therefore the extract cannot be a proof of a civil marriage. The science extract now the free family booking and to me evidence supporting a civil marriage between the Mami Akosua Serwaa and Daddy Lumba. Into the extract is significantly different from the evidence no much or also say and no they buy a marriage certificate. A 2 different things. The science court no me and now we no it was the same patch will pay 29 sorry. It will pay 39. Into Hano no say so and extract a free a foreign document, a sabe foreign signature. Said you would can specifically no evidence act no section 161 no. Ama conditions be a was away they would do so. Into when this wa me Emma Yenji Kratano, foreign Kratan entum. A one aboard the case of Hussein versus Eba Supra. Ah, now do Broni lawyer no aboso. Or set him to say, send your mukra was a case name. O Kuranisa, Ewa same use emu. Tia honomono, or Case, exhibit B now, Mudeba yeno. There wasn't Kenya authentication, no. Any the civil marriage certification in a free born hem marriage registry. Ewa Germany no. Esan say Mrano. Undertake senka e was a side and a yedin a basso. Inti Amazon wono. There is nothing before the court. I be out there. She ni court anymore was a court in yedin. A consider. No we no call your mammy and Estina for soon. So a statement is also what I say. Now a dobro Akosua say wa any ya papa da lumbe wari Germany no ho. Name cross examination no. Omo kusa the cross examination and say ohun so omo signing was she there when they were signing the marriage certificate? She asserted that I was there. Kaseno one of more sign. And me and I pay was it the paragraph 8 of your own witness statement? No? You claim that the only person where you and beside you beside your mame and Estina Fosu who witnessed the marriage was Georgina and not you. That is where the can one witness statement who say, yeah, mame Georgina na Ojina mu ascertain no. And my Akosua say one no pe and I so mummy no worry and yon until I didn't have the walker. That is almost 30 punchy holes for witness statement. So there, emu. No say that be. Meanwhile, no, was it at the me and the Georgina and the call the same day. So we were living with them in Germany. I said no, or did to me. Ain't no. And Omubusan is saying to only me ya dream say now when you are bear man no name my Akosua say was signing certificates. Or no car say Hannah now what you me there is say once they were married they will sign a certificate, which means one share there or as Jimmy said anyway. Yeah, also who ya and was. Ain't he? Mera Dorinda say answers na. Emma me and Estina ma you know. Claire say marriage certificate must have the signatures of the couple. Because also mummy no sign. And if not, the mere reason for an expert witness should have been brought by the plaintiff. Or say mummy no a signature ni enhu. Expert witness na semne dey. Ko say wa mutimi at least or mutimi yede. E dey ba. O think be speaking to the prominent features of a valid marriage certificate. As I say, entino or say munhwe or say then a look at exhibit 0 series is supposed to be that the number and the plaintiff signing the document. It can be any document. It grab okay, or say signing a document. Or say if the evidence is true, then a marriage certificate bearing the signatures of the parties should have been submitted. See some of the picture about women no sign criteria be there. Any what's a certificate no. You must women or signature yeden. E was so. San welcome. Nti eno ohun say women no signature ni so. Signature na was so na German official bi so no so one dey want ase. Sa na manema ni nyina. So see in the alternative, the absence of such signatures on the marriage certificate from Germany should have been affirmed by the expert witness. I think mudia mo enya mudia mumie no signature no so kran ka mo ma me expert witness. Mama me no sube. So we no se Ghana aware krata no. Wo be hu signatures of the couple. Wa ware wo mbere mu abe hu se wo be sign. Wo ra be sign na wo yere be sign. If the court is presuming German law to be the same as Ghana law, then it's a court na fa Ghana German mara said ye Ghana mara de. Ene ko say ye hu omumie no omu signature wo so what I say. But ni nyina no me omo de ba ye no ye hu bibia sa explanation bia so nim. It is more the reason that the document should have been authenticated because me no certificate ni so ntia no kura sa na mere nyina nti no because at least munya authentication kakra na mutibi de boy and the signature identified and certified as required by government. It's still our sugina certification no so patent in yedri or that is authentication as a money is serious matter. Into the same document is attached. The same document is seen attached to Exhibit C, being the letter allegedly written from German embassy. The last paragraph, Exhibit C says, attached you find a copy of the said marriage certificate for your perusal. Now, I want to know say, omo de krata bi fi German embassy buy. Say, I no omo trust our say. No, sister krata no omo de buy no. It's supposed to be the same document as Exhibit B, but it has a different signature and a date. The document is signed by G. Stans Bemeter, a German date. And our date, 23rd October 2025. 23rd October 2025. Or say, and not just Exhibit B, no. I supposed marriage certificate, no, so has the signature of another Bertram. And yeah, Bertram stands beat him. Hey, do you know the Biam Tino said they dated 12 August 2025. Or see, the two documents look similar with similar information, but there is no explanation as to why a different signature needed. Honey, they just told me say, "Judge, no, more confusing." confusing. So you are saying the court has not been given any explanation as to why Exhibit B, is seen. As I said, is at the current Exhibit B, and Exhibit C, because as to what exactly which one was brought as the original or said to be an extract, even if it is the marriage certificate, same cannot be relied on by the court as they were not authenticated. And now, Omunina also contrary to section 136 and 161 now. Ya Boston. Me that's I say more.
Yama wo ya ka che se kokumu bi ni nyina ye ndada ye kuntumpo de me ka che ni pa bia sunsum bia ne offer woje ane ye wo entities a wodo bebrebe ye oba format asmodeus ye wo laviatan ye wo entities a bebrebe
obi akwaji koku abehye den ma fis kama na
ya sa na da se ni pa na adwuma adi no ana wo de adwuma adi amanfo
obisi makwaji wo ni fis
hey abo wo be da physical oyene ye for logic into bi hu wo woni minim ya say no wa fe bond with 50 fire spirituality but nye spirituality na ya no abo na wo spirituality ne fa no so akoye sa me mine na ntimi mine emfisa asika ne mam
so snake cannot vomit
how can it be possible for a snake
to vomit money
to vomit money Charlie, let's be truthful to ourselves. Say Jesus ane yere baba to Gana. Let's look from Monday, Sunday to Saturday. The number of churches that operate.
Which you have
omutimi ya sorry fiti kwasi anopa. Kwasi ada numera, kwasi ada wiana wapona numera basa ba.
Obi a wo ba nam ho. Me ba ye kaba.
Abai omo di chese anopa awia numera kraba. E da so na busa wo se nipa no wo gire mo bompa ye dia ma. He's still worth it. Asori na mo ko bebrebe na bebre ho no ma mo kra ani nipa na ogire ni mu ne nhia so mu nim na mo da so kwa asori no nipa na ogire wo bompa ya ma wo no is o deserve so ogire wo ye mpa body ma wana yes follow who knows who enti nipa na ogire wo ye jire baba yire nka ne kra mu ye du sen ko no wa beje wajewe wa wo hwe me aba wutiri bu se me kokumi maame me kokumi nua bi akɔgye sika duro no ɔhene wobɔkɔ kokum no hwema unya hwe no adi ngwase asɛm sɛ bi mfrɛ no mu asɛ na afi wa betra se bue uwia na takusi mpo bi ameka wonsa sika duro na ni ho na mo adwuma no na wokɔbɔ ho ba kotwa hu nantwe kotwa hu dwa kotwa hu aponche kotwa hu kraman na so no so adi saa de ani nti wɔde akɔ bibi papa de abrɛw o 10,000 mo se de bia ni peba akokɔ obi ka kyerɛ sɛ kumobi agye sika nipa no yɛ dadafo ebi ko agye sika almost 2 billion 1 billion 800 million nso ka sɛ kokum nipa da ho ntimi kokum
ebi na sɛ si wɔ is amasama we
ka sɛ kokum ho ntimi kokum ntimi ne kyerɛ sɛ ne de bɛba ne sɛ nti obi obɛka kyerɛ sɛ sunsuma ware bia no enye bia no one way or the other it has a positive side of it. Now, yanko the negative side. You will be so baba wale we be di unya. Obiti bi sheda bobo poso obe ware wa be se wa bra. Nipa mu kra na sanity. Obiti bi ba ware wo se wo sika nti. Enti yo so nsuma no so baba be ware wo. Na wo ware wo a wo dwuma na wo ye no bo se obe se no because ya hye ne so me ware no se no. What you say? Enti wo ko busa se ma ware ya me ware wo so nsuma wo se obi ni me beda. Na ware ya me ware wo so nsumi. Eye papa ana ye bone ansa no wahwe se yengu awale na ma na kwanda so de ne di gina so kura gu awale na ama wo no ma esei ama abrabo okutia na sa abra me no ka se sunsun ne ware wo store koso abrabo yi obo akonhoma wo se mi gu awale we ogu na be obedie
nti wo se sunsumini ne tena se hwehwe sa awade e
bona se sei no
papa hwe sunsun mu awade no se amamre kwa so ne fa so twetwum pe de mate de sofo betimi de food the water anonto le bi
Tira me kase, tira na me call. Yes sir, but cheme, ma break no. Yen twa sunsuma ware, yen break sunsuma ware. Yen kunu ya dia mamre ne amane. Ya de ne ka wa ne nsama no. What you say? Obe ware wo fra busia mu. Obe ware wo ma wo. Obe ware wo kra.
Se wo gwa ware anema no, se osumo ba akro.
O de man. What you say? Dia me ka che ni panyina na se wote wo mama wadwene po NCP. Nya wo ye fa dwene pa odo kore ye ntiase abotire gidie ne no kore. Enante. Wo de sa nyoma we nante wonya sunsum pa ma ne di wachi bo ho ban. Ekoma wa bra kra nko sunsum bia. Na de sa to so bio ne se wonim tira me se bra. Ene me ma meto nchia. Fo adwuma sem okodanda wo ha wa mane wa benedie. De aye kudanto ata wa bra boso. De aye enhini o se dua bi anyina na epo bem enti de aye yinyin wo wabra bom ama epo na bem a wo ko anko no eno na me se fa bra na ne bofo buabuduro ene ne ma ne mofra wo ne munyina na bra fo kwasi gadew akwasi informa na te ga bofo se bra fo be dan wo na omonhwe na omomo na bi mfa to utimi se susuma wale ne yakasa wo dan no be dan nkwa ne nkwa nyo awia kete bra na kuratimi si awia kete bra na kuratimi si anopa da suom kuratimi si wo ho no ma hwenka na wa utimi se wo sa no na mum sabi nsu wo ho emba ma abon engwa bonten what be me feel it said yes me no obadan and no chikra kire se sunsun bi ni wa ye de aba be di ehye bra babu se kire se sa sunsun na no be di ehye eye de e beboa ana ye de se se ye de eboa wa na ye hwe ho asem ne yenka